Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video we have ourselves more updates on the pre-patch. However, these updates are partially some of the stuff that's been going on in the beta. Some very much needed changes that a lot of you guys will be happy if you are any of these classes getting updates. And a lot of these are really good. But also we have some updates that are only specific to pre-patch as well. And it looks like Blizzard decided to do this in a massive update on the main website for Shadowlands. And a lot of these new updates have been marked with a different font color on the patch notes. So we're going to be covering anything that is new on this list for the pre-patch. It doesn't look like these updates are available as of me making this video, but most likely with the Tuesday, Wednesday reset, all these updates are going to go live. So definitely try out some of your alts with these changes as you're still trying to pick your main going for Shadowlands. Anyway, let's get into the updates on the pre-patch that are coming up soon. So taking a look at some of these updates with Death Knights, there are a couple things. We could be talking about how you get Dark Command, which is your taunt, a little bit earlier, and how you're getting your ability of Anti-Magic Shell a little bit later when leveling, but I felt like those changes weren't important enough. So instead we'll cover some of the stuff you'll actually be playing with, like Death and Decay and Death Strike damage increases. So both of those abilities are increased in damage. I don't think it's really done for DPS, maybe with Death Strike, but I think for Death and Decay it's more just ways for you to maintain aggro a little bit easier. Some takes have commented that their aggro management in the pre-patch has been a little bit lacking, unless you're doing incredible damage, so I think this is mostly just to help them keep aggro a little bit easier. For Demon Hunters, we have a talent update, which has been available in the beta, but wasn't available in pre-patch before, which is Unbound Chaos, replaces the talent of Fell Mastery, where your Immolation Aura would cause your next Fell Rush to do a lot more damage, instead of the way that it worked originally with Fell Mastery, where a Demon Hunter would run out and kind of just like Fell Explosion all over the place. It was a lot harder to land that other ability, that other talent choice. It was cool, but it just wasn't consistent. Sometimes he would kind of stop early, sometimes he would go ahead of you, so this just makes your Fell Rush do a ton more damage. Glaive Tempest now does a little bit less damage, but is affected by Mastery, which potentially could be pretty good for Demon Hunters going forward to make a Mastery heavy build with this ability. For Druids, we have a couple updates for PvP for Restoration. Master Shapeshifter, Bounce Affinity no longer reduces the casting of Star Surge increase. Instead, it makes your Wrath and Starfire do 20% more damage for 10 seconds. Blizzard really wanting for you to get the damage out from the base abilities. Master Shapeshifter Feral Affinity now increases bleed damage by 30% instead of 25%, so a bit more damage if you are a Restoration looking to hop into a Feral form and get some big bleeds up and running for damage. Deep Roots now increases damage required to break integral roots and Master Takedown by 250%, down from 400, so roots aren't going to be as reliable. Same thing for Boomies. We have a PvP challenge change with Moon and Stars, where it now triggers every time you enter an eclipse instead of just using Celestial Alignment, which could potentially make this ability a lot better now, hopefully, for Boomies. For Hunters, we have a change to the Survival Tactics, which is a pretty common and a favorite by a lot of Hunters PvP talent. It now reduces your damage taken by 90% instead of 99%, and can now be used to reduce damage from spells that are already mid-air, which actually is really cool. 90% damage reduction is a little bit less good than 99%, which is basically near immunity, but being able to use it on spells mid-air is going to be a big game changer. For Marksman Hunters in pre-patch, have fun enjoying your new True Shot, which now will increase your focus regeneration by 50%, and all focus generating abilities will also be more effective while this ability is up, which is going to make your rotation and burst hopefully a lot smoother. So some of you guys that are not sure if you want to play Beastmaster or Marksman, maybe felt like Marksman wasn't getting enough focus, with this talent in pre-patch you might be able to give it a bit of a play to find out if this is going to be the spec for you. When it comes to Paladins, Light at Dawn has been one of the weakest healing abilities, so Blizzard is buffing it by 25%. Now, I'm not someone who has done the math for this ability, and I don't really know if this is going to be enough in order to make this ability all that strong, but hopefully it will be. Hopefully it'll be at least a little bit better than where it was, because this ability used to heal for literally 0. Hopefully this will make it a little bit more consistent going forward. Also, if you're a fan of faster casts, then Holy Paladin should be pretty happy because Divine Favor now reduces the casting of Holy Light and Flash of Light by 60%, but no longer reduces the mana cost. I think a lot of Paladins will love the ability to get their heals out ASAP as soon as it's needed. I think it's going to play a little bit better than the slower healing playstyle, but at an expense of mana, which now won't be nearly as much of an issue since Holy Power has returned. So quite a lot of your heals are actually going to use Holy Power instead of mana, so this might have been one of the better changes going forward. Then we had a couple Red Paladin PvP talent changes, with Vengeance Aura getting increased yards in terms of its range. Then Luminescence now heals up to 5 allies preferring injured targets. Additional range of this ability has been increased to 40 yards, which should make Retribution Paladin off healing a little bit stronger and more consistent, maybe in places like Battlegrounds. When it comes to Priest, Holy and Disciplined Priest healing with Power Word Shield is no longer increased by 10% in PvP combat, so in a way it's like a 10% nerf for PvP in particular, just only for Holy as well as Disciplined Priest. It looks like maybe Holy Priests are looking like a viable healing spec for PvP going forward, so Blizzard decided to adjust a couple of their honor talents. Delivered from Evil no longer reduces the Leap of Faith cooldown by 45 seconds. Instead, it makes your next healing spell on a target be a lot stronger, which is going to give you a lot more emergency output. Miracle Worker now also reduces the remaining cooldown of Holy Ward Serenity by 25%, so maybe we'll see more Holy Priests running around in BGs as well as in arenas. A lot of you guys were wondering if Shadow Priests are ever going to get nerfed, and in this update we actually got some nerfs. Dark Thoughts duration has been increased, which is a buff, while DP's damage has been nerfed, the periodic damage also been nerfed, Mind Seer has been nerfed, and Mindflay has been nerfed. Probably not the worst thing, as it looks like Shadow Priests are still going to be doing really well, and they'll most likely need more nerfs in the future because this spec tends to scale really well with better gear. So as we hit level 60 in the expansion, they're just going to get even stronger. Then we had a couple of changes from the beta leak into the pre-patch, with the Shadow Crash change being basically completely reverted. Void Torrent being a lot more bursty, but no longer giving you as much of refresh on dots, but giving you a lot more insanity with it. Auspicious Spirits being changed up a little bit in order to account for the talents and how that has been improved so far, with Auspicious Spirits being a lot more reliable to use. Seer Nightmare also got its sanity cost slightly reduced, so maybe more uses in that department. When it comes to Rogue, we got an incredible update for the one ability, Shiv. It now does 150% more damage. Very interesting what Blizzard was trying to do with this. I think they're just trying to make Shiv a little bit better for level 60, since as Assassination you're going to be using this ability quite a lot. And maybe they're trying to make it a little bit better, maybe for leveling when it comes to your Rogue. I don't think this is going to make Shiv a priority ability by any measure, but it will be surprising if it did. But yeah, Rogues didn't get any major updates. With the talent of Control Lava for Elemental Shamans, it now increases Flame Shock's damage by 25, instead of increasing Lava Burst damage, which is going to be, quite a change, but maybe the dot damage might be pretty good in certain compositions in Arena. But the biggest winner of these changes is going to be Enhancement Shaman, with quite a few awesome changes for it. First of all, Wind Fury weapon proc is going to be increased by a ton more, so it's going to be more consistent. Healing Surge is healing for a lot more, which is great news for PvP. Maelstrom abilities that are going to be instacast are going to be a lot more effective. And your Feral Spirits, the wolves that you summon, will actually do quite a bit of damage. So a massive good change of buffs for enhancement overall. But it doesn't stop there, as we got a couple changes to talents, with Ice Strike doing a bit more damage, Forceful Winds getting nerfed since, Wind Fury is a lot more consistent. Lash and Flames duration has been increased to 20 seconds, which makes it easier to maintain. Elemental Blast now really packs a punch. Hailstorm, though, has been nerfed because it was too consistent, but Fire Nova in that same row has gotten massive buffs for it. So hopefully it should give you, as an enhancement shaman, more choices and options in how you want to play your character. When it comes to Warlock's new ability, Fell Domination will also make it so the pet that you summon will not cost a soul shard, which is going to be a little bit better when it comes to summoning a pet, let's say right after they died. In a very stressful situation, you won't need a soul shard to summon it anymore. Blizzard also improved the duration of Curse of Exhaustion, which is a pretty big buff. Also, if you end up using Howl of Terror in PvP, it should now be at least a little bit more reliable, because the damage of the fear will last a little longer before enough damage is done to break the fear. Dark Pact is also going to be a little bit more impactful, so it actually might be a viable talent choice going forward into the next expansion. For both Affliction and Demonology, Shadowbolt is going to do slightly more damage. It is an ability that does the most damage for you, so this is going to be a slight damage increase overall. Affliction Warlock should peep the new honor talent called Rapid Contagion, where for the next 15 seconds after using this ability, all periodic effects occur 50% more often. Instacast, but has a hefty soul shard cost. But some of you might be a little bit skittish about going into PvP as Affliction since you feel squishy, so Blizzard ended up buffing Demon Armor in PvP, so now you are a little bit tankier when it comes to playing against other players in PvP combat. Blizzard decided to take a bite of damage out of Dreadstalkers by making their Dread Bite ability do a little bit less damage, but their overall attack power, which is their consistent auto attacks after the bite, are going to be slightly stronger, probably to deal with some of the builds that were coming up that really focus super hard on Dreadstalker Bite, making it a very strong option, which makes it a little bit more consistent in other options. But if you were going for the big bite build, that's going to be nerfed a little. And that's going to conclude all the updates we have for the pre-patch. Now, as I'm making this video, none of these updates are on the pre-patch right now, but hopefully they should be available Tuesday or Wednesday or sometime soon. And hopefully we'll see a lot more people trying out some of these new class changes. Particularly, I'm excited for the enhancement Shaman ones, where enhancement should hopefully have a little bit more damage and bring a bit more of a punch going forward. Hopefully we'll see more updates come out, as Blizzard is really scrambling to get all these updates done, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a massive update for all the different tunings and all the different scaling that's going to happen before the release of Shadowlands itself. So I'm very excited to see this for myself going forward. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.